Welcome to the Brian Craig Show podcast. My name is Brian Craig, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Oh, man, it's been a rough few days, and it's still rough, isn't it? Oh, I still can't believe that Charlie Kirk is gone. I don't know, these stages of grief. I've never experienced grief like this for someone that wasn't a family member. And so that's the way that we're all feeling now. I'm glad others are starting to say this. The way we're all feeling now is what people felt like when President Kennedy was killed. And that's what we're experiencing right now. I think it's a type of grief that most people who have experienced grief like me have never experienced before. Grief for a family member, but it's not a family member. But really it is part of our MAGA family and our American family. I've got a lot of audio and video that I'm going to share and talk about on the program today. So if you happen to be watching me live on YouTube with the green screen behind me, go over to my other stream on my YouTube channel, and you can see all the video and hear all the audio I play, because I'm going to be sharing a lot. And if you're on the stream with just the green, you won't be able to hear it or see it. Okay. I watched live last night Charlie Kirk's widow speak, and nothing like that's ever happened before. You know, Charlie Kirk is the first high-profile, iconic, I'm not sure how to describe it, but a millennial to pass. This is the first political assassination that the country has suffered through since they killed Martin Luther King in 1968. When there have been god-awful events, the Kennedys, Martin Luther King, because those were sadly successful assassinations. There's been assassination attempts, but this is the first successful political assassination since Martin Luther King in 1968. And it's the first political assassination of the modern era with the internet and social media. And what's going on is crazy in this country from the left. And the way that Erika Kirk addressed the nation last night is something that's never been done, because, you know, of all the things Charlie Kirk was, one of the things is he was a social media influencer as well, right? And so we're experiencing in the country something we haven't experienced in over half a century, right? We haven't experienced something like this in almost 60 years. And we're experiencing it on a whole new level because of social media, the internet, YouTube, X and all that stuff. And it's different. I think, isn't it? It's kind of hard to explain, but I wasn't sure what was going on, because I was watching Bret Baier last night, who I believe's been red-pilled through his children, who were big fans of Charlie Kirk. And Bret Baier said, "Oh, tune in. Erika Kirk will be on at 8:15 on Jesse Waters' program." And I thought, it was going to be a one-on-one interview at 8:15. And I said, okay, that's going to be some interview, and it made sense. And then I flipped over to Newsmax, and they said Erika Kirk was coming on. I was like, oh, okay. And I really didn't realize what it was. And then it came up on my X feed, the live stream before Erika Kirk came out, and it showed Charlie's studio with the podium there. I didn't realize it was a podium. I was looking on my phone. And I was expecting her to come out and sit in his chair and talk, and then she came out. Nothing like this has ever happened before. I don't know how she did it. These have been, the last couple of days, some of the most difficult broadcast I've had to do. And it was a pretty powerful thing. And I want to play one clip. I'm not going to play the whole video. I do have a lot of audio and video that I'm going to share, but I'm only going to play one clip of Erika Kirk because I think most of you have seen it. But there's one clip I want to play that I wanted to talk about. And I want to tell you guys, if you're watching me on the YouTube live stream with the green behind me on YouTube, jump over to my other YouTube stream. You can see the video and hear the audio that I'm going to play. All right, so this is the one clip. I've got some other things I want to share, but I'm only going to play this one clip of Erika Kirk.
Already I have seen the worldwide outpouring of love for my husband. I've heard the testimonies from people my husband inspired to get married, to start families, to seek out a relationship with God. It's the most important one of all. The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it.
Wow. Yeah. Erika Kirk, Charlie Kirk's wife, and now we know who's going to take over Turning Point. And, you know, that was a big question. I've been talking this week that there's been a couple of conservative influencers that have really, I've not said their names. And I haven't confirmed or denied when people have put their names in the chat or in my comments, but some of you have mentioned the names. I think you guys know that have been going around, one of them in particular with crocodile tears, angling to take over Turning Point, and it really, now we know who is going to take over, and that's Erika Kirk, and that's an amazing thing. And what a powerful message and a statement. But you know what she said in the beginning. I'm going to rewind it and share the beginning of it, because she said something pretty important.
Already I have seen the worldwide outpouring of love for my husband. I've heard the testimonies from people my husband inspired to get married, to start families, to seek out a relationship with God. It's the most important one of all. The evildoers,
This part.
responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done.
Okay. Erika Kirk, she says, the evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination. That means she believes there was a conspiracy. I've been saying all week, the same people that killed President Kennedy, Senator Bobby Kennedy, Martin Luther King, shot the president in Butler, Pennsylvania, and tried to do it again at the golf course, were the same people who assassinated Charlie Kirk. She didn't say the assassin. She said the evildoers who assassinated. Erika Kirk is connected to the most informed people in our government, the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, many members of the Cabinet, Justice Department, FBI, and everything. And they've all talked with her. And she spent a long conversation on the phone with the president, at least once that we know of, the night of. She spent a lot of time with the vice president and his wife, and then they flew together on Air Force Two back to Arizona. So when she says the evildoers who assassinated Charlie Kirk, notice not this shooter, not the actual shooter, but this behind the scenes conspiracy, she is talking with an educated, informed statement after conversations with the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, the Director of the FBI, and others that are in the know. So our suspicions were right. They killed Charlie Kirk for the same reason they killed Martin Luther King. And for the same reason they tried to do what they tried to do and thankfully failed to do in Butler and at the golf course. You go back to the great Martin Luther King and his great civil rights movement, ending Democrat segregation and Democrat Jim Crow. What he was doing to the political establishment of the day, which was a Democrat political establishment, by the way, was, in their mind, a revolution. And it was, of sorts, a nonviolent revolution, but it was turning their world upside down, and people were being empowered who had no power before, African Americans. And they killed Martin Luther King for that purpose, to stop what he was doing. And that's what they were doing with Charlie Kirk. And this assassination, this is what in evildoers, that's the description that Erika Kirk gave, the evildoers. This is what I'm about to share with you. I've talked about this week on the program, but I'm going to share it again, and I want to tell, this is not what I believe. This is what the evildoers, the cabal, the conspiracy, the evildoers behind the assassination of Charlie Kirk, this is their thought process. They've had a nonstop 11-year campaign to try to end the MAGA movement. They had success ending the Tea Party. The Tea Party sprung up, and it was very powerful and influential, and it disappeared overnight because we didn't have any leadership or organization. The MAGA movement, we had the president. They did everything in their power to stop him. And then, in the 4 years that we had the Otto Penn administration of Joe Biden, they did all kinds of things to try to turn the base of support against him. And they thought, this is what they thought, the evildoers, right? This is what the lawfare was about, that MAGA supporters, Trump supporters, are law and order people. If we get him arrested, they'll drop him. And they got him arrested. Then they said, well, we don't have a mugshot, so it's not real to them. So then they got, after they did a couple of arrests, so they did the mugshot. They did all that stuff, the lawfare. I don't need to go through the history. And none of it worked. And he announced he's running. Oh, boy. Everything they've done with the lawfare has not turned anyone against him. He's more popular than ever. What are we going to do? So they tried to kill him in Butler. And because the PowerPoint presentation, which was the cue to the shooter, was on the opposite side of the stage that it usually is, he missed. And then they tried to do it again at the golf course. And after the golf course, the security around President Trump is at a level you can't imagine. And I've seen it here at Mar-a-Lago. It's not like it was in the first term. It's, I don't go up there and film it. I used to go up and vlog around Mar-a-Lago a lot. I still could. I don't. Because I don't want to show the security. But I promise you this. You've never seen security like this. I've shown a couple things. Here on my YouTube channel, I saw the president's motorcade coming to Mar-a-Lago from Air Force One a couple months back. The Beast was going at maximum speed down the road from the airport to Mar-a-Lago. Full speed for the Beast. I felt the wind come off of it when it drove past. In the first term, the president drove slow at idle speed so that you could wave and he could see you and would even come up to the curb. But that's nothing compared to everything else that's going on. So the evildoers that Erika Kirk is talking about, that assassinated Charlie Kirk, this is what they've told themselves. This is what they're telling themselves. I don't want you to think I think this, okay? They've told themselves this. Okay, he's in his second term. He can't run again. He's old, okay? They have a big bench of great people, MAGA. They've got J.D. Vance. They've got Marco Rubio. Right, we've got Pete Hegseth, great leaders. I mean, all three of those guys, good chance they'll all be president one day or vice president. Okay, but none of them are Trump, and that's true. No one is Trump. Trump's a unique candidate and everything else. And they know what Charlie Kirk has done with his incredible movement. And what Charlie Kirk has done with his movement is turn their world upside down, like Dr. King did after Montgomery in the bus boycott, and he turned the youth into Republicans. They've lost the youth vote, and that's and there's many other groups they've lost. The reason they killed Charlie Kirk, it's an election strategy, because without Charlie, this is what they're telling themselves. They think that Turning Point USA without Charlie Kirk is going to evaporate like Martin Luther King's organization did. The civil rights movement led by Martin Luther King was never the same, never recovered, because you had a bunch of charlatans that tried to take over leadership. That's not going to happen here. But they think it is. And they think without Charlie Kirk, whoever is the successor, nominated as our second MAGA president, won't be able to win without Charlie Kirk. That's why they did this. There's other reasons too, but that's the main reason they did this. To get back control of the country that they've lost. I'm not talking about the Democrats, although they have a role here. I'm talking about the permanent Washington class, the political elite that have been running this government our entire life, that have lost control because of President Trump's MAGA movement. The two top people in the MAGA movement, Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk, without question. That's why they did this. And I don't even think it's up for debate. Do you? No. But this isn't 1968. And we've got a strong organization here that's going to be bigger than ever. And we've got strong leadership. We've got Erika Kirk now, who has just blown the country away with this address to the nation last night. I was shocked. I didn't know what to make of it, because nothing like this has ever happened. And then I realized what I told you at the beginning of the program here, and that is that this is the first political assassination since Martin Luther King 57 years ago, but it's also the first major death and assassination in the modern era of the social media generation, right? So things are being done a little differently, but now we know who the heir is going to be to take over the good work, the great work of Charlie Kirk. It's not going to be these crocodile tear conservative influencers doing all the TV interviews, saying a bunch of powerful words that they typed into ChatGPT or something. It's going to be Erika Kirk. And this is really, truly what they were thinking when they assassinated. And I watched the whole thing live and this morning again. But when she said the evildoers that assassinated my husband, I'll rewind that part because I was like, that was sirens went off in my head.
To seek out a relationship with God is the most important one of all. The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done.
See, the evildoers. So she's acknowledging that, yeah, this shooter did the actual act, but like Lee Harvey Oswald, he's a patsy working for something bigger. Pretty powerful stuff. Pretty powerful stuff. I want to tell you guys about Mike Lindell and MyPillow. If you'd like to support my content, go to MyPillow. Use my promo code Kane at checkout and load up, Kane at mypillow.com. Huge savings going on right now. And you could use my promo code Kane on all the specials at mypillow.com, not just the ones I talk about. I share what I think are the must-haves and the best deals. Like the Percale sheets, just $29.88. Any size right now, the closeout sale, any size, any color. Twin, all the way up to California King and Split King and every size in between. I have these sheets. They are spectacular. And like everything Mike Lindell makes, they are very, very high quality. So go to mypillow.com and use my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. Now, if you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free. It's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Parents and grandparents, want a smart screen-free activity that actually teaches something useful to your kids? Then order your copy of Coloring Candles, Day Trading for Kids from author Caleb Davis on Amazon. This unique coloring book turns the stock market into a fun-friendly adventure with Benny the Bull and Boo the Bear as your child's guides. Kids 4 to 12 learn real concepts without all that jargon. They'll discover what bullish and bearish mean, see how candlesticks work, learn to spot popular chart patterns, and practice drawing their very own trading charts. And when they're ready to pretend trade, there's a trading log for kids to plan and track their own imaginary trades. Each page is big, 8.5 by 11 inches, with bold outlines and plenty of space to color, doodle, and learn. Coloring Candles Day Trading for Kids builds creativity, confidence, and early money smarts, all while keeping it fun. Whether you're homeschooling, gifting, or just looking for a rainy day win, Coloring Candles Day Trading for Kids makes learning market simple and exciting. Order your child's copy right now on Amazon. Just search Coloring Candles Day Trading for Kids by Caleb Davis. That's Coloring Candles Day Trading for Kids on Amazon. It's educational and fun entertainment, perfect for curious kids. Order your copy today. Have you ever felt unseen, misunderstood, or like you'll never be enough? You're not alone. Author Erika Elizondo shares her powerful journey from a childhood of emotional neglect and cultural pressure to a life of healing, purpose, and self-acceptance in the book, The Beauty of the Black Sheep, available on Amazon. Raised in a successful Hispanic family, Erika looked like she had it all. But behind the surface was loneliness, betrayal, and the crushing weight of perfection. Through heartbreak and abuse of marriage, as well as family struggles, she discovered her voice, her faith, and the strength to break free. Now a mother, teacher, and coach, she transformed her pain into purpose, reminding us that what makes us different is often our greatest strength. The Beauty of the Black Sheep is a memoir, but it's also a celebration of resilience, courage, and the power of choosing your own path. Order your copy of The Beauty of the Black Sheep from author Erika Elizondo on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, hardcover, hardcover, and free with Kindle Unlimited. Radiant, healthy skin is just a click away. Introducing Supple Skin, your trusted online destination for professional-grade chemical peels delivered straight to your door, anywhere in the world. At Supple Skin, they believe skincare should be simple, effective, and accessible. Their expertly formulated chemical peels are designed to gently exfoliate, renew, and reveal your most luminous complexion yet. No clinics, no waiting rooms, no costly repeat treatments, just glowing skin on your terms. Shop now at suppleskin.co.za and experience the confidence of truly supple skin. Get the total skin revamp at suppleskin.co.za. What do kids really learn about honesty from adults? Sometimes the lessons are mixed. From author Erika Kirk comes a heartwarming rhyming story that helps families see honesty through a child's eyes. Tiny Tales of Truth. Trudy the Terrier Teaches Honesty. Available right now on Amazon. With humor, charm, and a dash of puppy playfulness, Trudy the Terrier reminds us that truth-telling isn't just for kids. It's a lesson for all of us. This isn't just another children's book. It's also a guide for parents, teachers, and families who want to build stronger connections by leading with kindness, patience, as well as understanding. Through lighthearted rhymes and thoughtful wisdom, Tiny Tales of Truth, Trudy the Terrier Teaches Honesty shows how honesty creates safe spaces where everyone feels free to be themselves. Bring this meaningful story into your home, and teachers, it makes a great addition to your classroom reading collection. Tiny Tales of Truth, Trudy the Terrier Teaches Honesty, from author Erika Kirk, is on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, and free with Kindle Unlimited. Are you ready for a shocking truth? According to Gallup, only 20% of employees in America trust their leaders. That means 4 out of 5 people walk into work every day convinced their bosses either don't know what they're doing, don't care about them, or both. This is the greatest leadership crisis corporate America has ever faced, but it doesn't have to stay that way. From best-selling author Tom McQueen comes the powerful must-read new book, Clueless: The Tragic State of Leadership in Business Today and What to Do About It. Clueless is a practical step-by-step plan to restore trust in your workplace, while at the same time boosting performance, productivity, profit, and even customer loyalty. The good news? Rebuilding trust doesn't take years of training or a personality makeover. It can happen quickly if you know what to do, what to say, and how to do it consistently. Don't let your business become another statistic. Take action and order your copy of Clueless: The Tragic State of Leadership in Business Today and What to Do About It, from best-selling author Tom McQueen, on Amazon and Kindle and paperback, and the author's website, tommcqueenbooks.com.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Brian Craig Show podcast. Thanks for joining. Your calls are certainly welcome. The number is pinned in the live chat if you're watching live, 888-465-2631. And of course, I'm not going to play the video that Erika Kirk put on Instagram, but she took some photographs at the private viewing for Charlie Kirk, and pretty powerful. I mean, really powerful. This is, it really is. This is in the Daily Mail. Charlie Kirk's grieving widow shared a series of tender images as she wept beside her husband's casket in a final intimate farewell to the slain conservative activist. Yeah, Erika Kirk said last night, and I agree with this, that Charlie Kirk is a Christian martyr. Do you guys agree with that? Absolutely. Absolutely. Erika Kirk could be seen in the deeply personal footage as she gently strokes her husband's hand and sits beside his body dressed in a dark suit and red tie inside the lacquered wooden casket. "Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. God bless you," she whispers through muffled sobs, her voice cracking as she weeps. The sound of her weeping fills the room as her trembling finger, this is in the Daily Mail, linger on his lifeless hand in a final act of devotion. captured in full view of her 3.3 million followers. This was on Instagram. In another image, she can be seen with her back to the camera, her long blonde hair cascading over her shoulders, as she appears to be collapsed in grief as she lies draped across her husband's casket. While Charlie Kirk's face is not visible in the images, his body is clearly present, his unmistakable frame lying in the casket. The raw and haunting moments come just hours after Erika Kirk delivered a defiant public speech from her late husband's studio, vowing to continue his mission and never let his legacy die. Yeah, I mean, this is just, I tell you, these liberals. You know, Dinesh D'Souza posted something on X that is just so important and so true. Let me pull it up because I want to get it exact. You may have seen this. It was pretty powerful and something we know but haven't thought about in a long time. And a lot of young people are not aware because they, it's not their generation. But he has Charlie Manson's mugshot, and Dinesh D'Souza, he wrote this: Charles Manson didn't murder anyone, but convinced his followers that it was fine. And today's professors training a new generation of young people to pursue political objectives by any means necessary, including political assassination. He puts a question mark. And that's true. A lot of people don't know that Charlie Manson didn't kill anyone. And, freedom of speech, I'll take it away from the politics to illustrate it. You've all heard that you can't yell fire in a crowded theater. Well, that's not true. You can yell fire in a crowded theater if there's a fire, but if you yell fire in a crowded movie theater and there's no fire and a panic ensues and there are people who are in the panic fall and are stomped to death, you've committed a crime. You have incited a violent act that's resulted in someone's death. Do you understand the difference? And what people are talking about with the left and the fake news media and such is just that they're not committing the violence, but they are inspiring the violence. They're encouraging others to do it, like Charlie Manson did with the Manson family. Yeah. And I'm glad Dinesh D'Souza brought that up on X because it's a very true and powerful analysis of what is going on. All right, I'm going to take some calls. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you're watching live on YouTube, the number's 888-465-2631. It is pinned in the live chat, the call-in number. If you're watching on YouTube on the live stream with the green screen behind me, jump over to my other live stream on YouTube, and you can see the videos and hear the audio and everything that I play. All right, let's take some calls. Try to be respectful, you liberals out there, if you can. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name's Denise Johnson. I'm calling from Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, my hometown.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I went to elementary school at West Broad Street Elementary School.
Great. Yeah, I know where that's at. I went to West Mound.
Yeah. Okay.
Elementary.
Well, it's good. What's on your mind this morning?
I've been reading a little bit of the messages that people's been throwing out, and I just think it's really disgusting that people think it's funny that Charlie Kirk got shot down like a dog.
Yeah.
Nobody deserves to be shot at all and killed like that. Charlie Kirk was a wonderful person. He went to the campuses. He worked with those kids. Those kids loved him. His children loved him. His wife loved him. He does not deserve to be killed like that.
And what we have found out is that what we have found out since this god-awful event is that millions of Americans love Charlie Kirk. A lot of, you see the impact. There's not been an impact of a loss like this across the nation in decades. Just there hasn't. Maybe not in my lifetime. I
loved him. I watched his videos in my phone every day. And he was so calm with these children, these college kids, that they would argue with him and he would argue back. He would be so calm with them. Some of the times I would get upset with those kids, but he wouldn't get upset with them. I just thought he was great.
You know,
He
Charlie.
really was. He
You know,
was a
Charlie
nice person.
Kirk has a new book coming out in December, and I wish it was available now. It's about the Sabbath and honoring the Sabbath. And I got to tell you, my wife has been on me for 20 years to not work on Sundays and honor the Sabbath. And I'm going to get that book. I'm looking forward to. I'm going to get all of his books and read them. Actually,
I'll probably get his book. I got Melania's book, and I got a book of Trump. I bought Trump's 45th book.
Yes, I have
and
that
I'll probably
too.
get that book.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's
So all those out there that think it's funny, they'll get theirs in the end. It'll come back on them.
Yeah, well, we're in the
I'm
after.
sorry
Yeah,
to say
okay,
that.
all right. I appreciate the call from my hometown of Columbus, Ohio. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
North Carolina.
Yep. What's on your mind?
North Carolina.
Yep. I heard that.
Honestly, I want to say the same thing. Like, you know, the people that's making fun of his death are just pieces of shit. So I'm gonna excuse my language.
Yeah.
You know, it's not right.
Yep. How can anyone argue with
I'm
that?
a former Marine.
You know, how could someone argue with that? I mean, you know, that's, you know, you're right. I've never seen something like this. Not for an American. You know, even when there's been more these sickos. I haven't seen that. There wasn't this kind of celebration when we got Bin Laden. You know what I mean? You would have thought.
Yeah. I agree with you.
I mean, this is nuts. You know, and
It is.
the way the left have reacted. I mean, you know, I got a call on the program last night from a guy from Romania, and he was talking to me about what he was seeing. And I told him, I said, I'm embarrassed that our country is being represented like this around the world. That's not America.
Yes, I agree. This country's been ran into the ground.
Yep, by these monsters. Yeah. All right, North Carolina.
Yep.
Very, very true words. I wanted to share this. Did you see this? This is crazy. So these young people are planning a vigil for Charlie Kirk. They go to Office Depot to print up the flyers. They paid in advance, and then they wouldn't print the flyers. And if you're watching on YouTube, there's on the video, these wokesters at Office Depot, the manager is the one sitting down. So this is nuts. Listen to this.
We came in for an order earlier to print a poster for a vigil tonight.
Yes,
for somebody that passed. It's not.
We don't print propaganda, she said. These are flyers for a vigil for a man who was murdered this week. And she says, we don't print propaganda.
We came in for an order earlier to print a poster for a vigil tonight.
Yes,
for somebody that passed.
propaganda.
It's not.
It's propaganda. I'm sorry. We don't put that here.
Alrighty. So, what's your name?
Carol, I'm print supervisor.
I'm one of the managers.
Yes.
So, unfortunately, we do
So
not
they
print-
say they don't print
we don't
political
print
propaganda.
No.
So this is somebody that passed away a couple years
That's
ago. from
political
Ebola.
propaganda, unfortunately. I'm
So
sorry.
this is for a prayer tonight, for a prayer vigil.
It's still propaganda, unfortunately.
I printed
What
other
makes it
things.
propaganda?
Because he's a political figure, and I don't have to.
Press.
Yeah.
Our general manager is going to be in on Monday. If you
No,
want to
it's
speak
totally
further on the
we have-
subject,
we have
you would
lots-
like
we
to,
have
you're
orders.
welcome to.
I mean, this is, you know, this is a problem beyond just this individual. Who in the heck in this country would do something like this? You know, and what's happened is, you know, there's been a lot of talk about the assassin himself. They're saying his family was very conservative, very Republican. Maybe and that he everything in his life was going well until he went to college, where he was brainwashed. You know, there's a lot of that. But what's going on with this discord too? You know, we have got, sadly, millions of people like this lunatic manager at Office Depot and this shooter who have been brainwashed on Discord and and schools and elsewhere to think that Charlie Kirk and those who are Republican, in particular those of us who support our great President Trump, are Nazis. And when they had the press conference yesterday for the arrest of the assassin, I thought it was lacking a lot of detail, didn't you? Lacking a lot of detail, and also they didn't even have much of a timeline. But what I want is a timeline to exactly how he was radicalized and brainwashed into doing the bidding of these evildoers that Erika Kirk was talking about. All right, I'll take some more calls. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. All right, bad connection. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Job.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. I don't know if you've seen on X, but not only are there people having issues with printing flyers, it seems that people in various parts of our country are having issues in regards to flying the flag at half-staff.
Really? I haven't seen any of those stories yet.
Yeah, it's in LA, it's a couple of other places. You know, one of the things that I really think that collectively it needs to be recognized is that there's a sense of respect.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not just talking about Charlie Kirk. You may not agree with the president, but he's the president. Mm-hmm. And if he orders the flags at half-staff, then you put the flags at half-staff.
That's right.
He's the president of the United States.
In fact, I don't know if I've ever heard any conflict about that before. I don't remember.
I've never. That's my. This is my point. This is if you want to. I mean, flying the flags at half-staff the people who end up fighting these decisions don't even actually have to even do the work of actually lowering flags.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the part that drives individuals that have reverence not only for the president, but as well as for Charlie Kirk, but collectively, because there is such a sign of disrespect, and it is so blatant. If you wanted to tone down the rhetoric, why don't you start out with something completely simple? And that's doing what the president has requested of you. You don't seem to have a problem, and I'm going to use specifically LA because that was the one that kind of struck me the most. You don't have a problem having your hand out, requesting money when you allowed areas of the state to burn down. And he's requesting that you fly the flag at half-staff for somebody that the country, not all of them, but a large portion of the country held in high regard.
Yeah.
And the violence that was shown in front of all of these young people, the fact that it was on social media, is just collectively, that would be a sign of being part of.
Well, where this started a lot, because we're talking a lot about where all this radicalization started, where you have this lunatic at Office Depot and this shooter. If you noticed in the last couple of years with all this trans stuff that was going on, how many school teachers did you see on TikTok with trans flags in their classroom? And what happened is, this is Obama's doing. The Obama team of people that have always remained in place have done a massive recruitment drive for school teachers. And also the media, like Jen Psaki and many others, is infected with people that work for Obama. But we have this Obama generation of radical activist school teachers from K through graduate school, kindergarten through graduate school, that have a lot. This is all Obama. Those 8 years of his presidency don't seem all that remarkable, other than he was the first black president, if you go back. but he was working behind the scenes to change this country in ways that we're seeing now, like this idiot at Office Depot. It's all Obama.
I'm sorry, what did you say? He was the first what?
Black president.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Can you say that again?
No. I said it twice. You heard me. All right, okay. Weird. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, sir. My name is Matthew. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona.
Matthew in Arizona, Charlie Kirk's home state.
Yes, sir. It's just, it's just very sad. I was at when he came down, and it's just pathetic. And I'm 20 years old, and he was one of the only people for my generation, I think, that could actually speak freely for what some of us might believe in.
Yep.
With faith and God and family and everything he wanted was just for us to have like a better life, I think.
Yep.
I don't know. I shook his hand a couple times when he was here, so it just really affects me.
Yeah, well, it's affected the whole country.
I agree. I'm just hoping and praying that my generation might do what's right and fight back against this.
Well, the way you can fight back is what Erika Kirk said. Get involved in Turning Point if you're 20. My name's Brian. This is the Brian Craig Show podcast, which is available on all podcast platforms. Go to wherever you get your podcast, type in the Brian Craig Show, and the program pops up. If you want to catch live, where I take live calls, follow me on YouTube, Brian Craig Show on YouTube. You can catch the show live there. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
Don't you hate it when you buy something online and then you get slapped with a huge shipping charge at checkout? Not at MyPillow.com. Right now, enjoy free shipping on all orders $100 or more when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout at MyPillow.com. This is your chance to stock up on unbeatable deals on everything site-wide. Soft sheets, cozy slippers, plush bathrobes, mattresses, mattress toppers, pet beds. It's free shipping on all orders $100 or more. Order now at MyPillow.com and use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, for free shipping.
Tom Laporta here from Laporta Roofing. Homeowners, condo associations, and HOA communities are being threatened by their insurance companies to replace their roofs or lose coverage. We perform a full evaluation of your roofs, test the conditions of the materials, suggest repairs, set maintenance schedules, and write letters to your insurance companies. We are also state of Florida general contractors, which carry a lot of weight when dealing with insurance companies. We recently had a property management company call us to evaluate 2 multi-story condo buildings. Each were in aging condition. We performed a full evaluation, built a case with focused repairs and maintenance that the roofs had up to 5 years left. The insurance companies granted the associations additional time. Homeowners, condo, and HOA associations, give me a call at 954-604-4602 to set up an evaluation so we can help you with your insurance company. That number again is 954-604-4602, or find us at laportaroofing.com.
This is Dr. Philip Appleton. You guys have been hearing me on the radio for years, and everybody knows whoever comes to my office, I care about you 100%. We are treating auto accidents. In an auto accident, there's a lot of things that occur in an accident. Anywhere from headaches, neck pain, shoulder pain, arm pain, elbow pain, wrist pain, knee pain, elbow pain, sciatica. People use the word whiplash all the time. That's it for neck pain. Come in for an evaluation. Let me look at you. Let me evaluate you. And then we can go from there. Auto accidents, Uber, and Lyft accidents, we do take care of, and also slip and falls. So you have any issues, give me a call or come into my office. There's always no cost for the consultation.
Call Dr. Appleton and take advantage of that no-charge consultation right now. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. Online, AppletonCairo.com, and say bye-bye to your pain.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Brian Craig Show podcast. If you'd like to call in, if you're watching live, you can do just that. The number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. And I'm going to tell you guys how the country's changed. You know, this is live Saturday morning. And those of you that follow me on YouTube, You know that on the weekends, what I usually do is I go live stream at one of the mini Starbucks in my neck of the woods and do a live stream outside with my MAGA hat on and everything. I'm in my studio on this Saturday morning. Why do you think that is? You know, people in my line of work are all taking precautions. You know, and that's one that I'm taking because my wife asked me to, and you know it shouldn't have to be that way. But this is something that some Republicans are falling in. If you're on hold, stand by. I'll go to the phones in a moment. There's something that Republicans are falling into. These rhinos. I call them rats. Republicans against Trump. They're getting involved in these discussions with Democrats that both sides need to turn down the volume a little bit. And I was talking about on the program yesterday, I saw Shannon Bream from Fox News Sunday on Fox promoting her show. She's putting together a panel of Republicans and Democrats who are going to come together to turn down the volume on both sides. The volume is fine on the MAGA side of things. The volume is on full blast and in distortion mode over there with the Democrats. They're the ones that are shooting and killing people of the opposing political viewpoints. I was watching a guy. This shocked the daylights out of me. I saw a guy on YouTube that I've watched. He does videos that have nothing to do with politics, nothing to do with politics, with other things, and I'm not going to call him out. I've never seen him even hint at politics. And he had a video about Charlie Kirk popped up on my feed. I watched it. I've unsubscribed, and I was in shock at what I heard. He was talking about Charlie Kirk's rhetoric is what did this to him. And he started to go into it. I was out. I unsubscribed. I never watch him again. It's just ugliness. And by the way, he's not a young man. He's like an old man, older than me. And these people on the left who talk about outrageous comments of Charlie Kirk's, they're putting montages out there that have quick edits and everything else to take statements out of context and such of his, and saying that he was saying outrageous, inflammatory things. No, the things that Charlie Kirk said are normal. Children should not have sex change operations, as an example. What Charlie Kirk said, everything he said was just normal. Nothing outrageous, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing even really shocking, just normal. And what the left have done is turn normality into fascism in their mind. It's pretty crazy. But these Republicans that are going to sit down talking about toning down the volume on both sides, our volume's fine. I can barely hear it on our side. We're acting normal like we always do. They killed our number 2 guy, and they shot the president, and they tried to shoot him a second time, okay? They've got an assassin on trial right now in Florida for trying to assassinate the president. They got another assassin in jail right now for assassinating Charlie Kirk. They're trying to make this moral equivalency. They keep mentioning this guy in Minnesota that killed these politicians in Minnesota. Well, that was tragic, but in his car, when they arrested that you know what I'm talking about, those Democrats that were killed in Minnesota, the guy that did the killing, they're telling you he was MAGA. In his car when he was arrested, he had those No More Kings flyers in his car from that rally they did weeks ago. It doesn't sound like MAGA to me, and he had a statewide position appointed by Waltz. I mean, he was the MAGA. He was one of them. And that doesn't stop them. CNN, MSNBC, all of them saying that was some MAGA. It was not. MAGA don't have no Kings flyers in their car. And he had more than one. He had a whole bunch of them. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. This is Daniel calling from California.
Hey, Daniel.
Hi. I just want to firstly say, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. This has all been very heartbreaking for a lot of us. And please, to everyone, show kindness to the Kirk family and Turning Point. But he was pretty much around my age. And me personally, I think, I'm just trying to gather my thoughts here, but I think one of the reasons why he was this prominent figure and such a target with the assassinations is because he was making inroads straight into liberal colleges that are usually think tanks and like safe spaces
for liberals.
Right. You know, so he was, you know, debating them all around the country at the universities, and he was winning people over on the right.
You're right.
And
you're correct.
So that's why I think, you know, because they want to perpetuate the ideology, you know, and I think it's important to be having the exchanging and pushback and the clashing of ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. No, you're absolutely correct.
Otherwise, it just becomes like an echo chamber in a safe space.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I know people say he's, you know, he's a mouthpiece, this or that, or, you know, that he kind of spoke violence, so that's what happened. But I mean,
none of that's true.
He was just speaking the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep. No, you're absolutely correct.
I just think, yeah, I mean, I just think it's unfortunate, and it really just, you know, it hurts. You know, this is a loss for everyone too.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with every syllable of every word that you said. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and I just think, you know, violence is never the answer. And I was thinking of the Babe Ruth quote where it's heroes get remembered and legends never die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of the people that have to say this rhetoric, and you know, I think that this was targeted from the left, even though they don't want to take that. I feel like there's, so to speak, you know, blood on their hands, but that's a whole different thing.
Yep.
You know, but I mean, again, I just think having the discussions of the ideologies is important.
That's true. All right.
You know,
well, listen.
ideology.
Well, I appreciate the call, and call me again sometime. All right. Take care. All right. If you're on hold, hang in there. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah. Good morning, Brian. This is Richie.
Hey, Richie.
You know?
Now, hold on, Richie. I got to answer all these calls coming in. All right. Go ahead, Richie.
All right. Here's the deal. It's very simple. It's good against evil.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Kirk represented good. These other people, believe it, are the devil. And I'm going to say it the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Kirk was a very religious man. He was a moral man. He believed in, like, for example, you brought up Charles Manson. Charles Manson never got, he was an influencer.
That's, you know, I've never heard, you know, that's an interesting thing. Charlie Manson as that's exactly what he was. He was an influencer.
Yeah, but he didn't have the internet, and he didn't have this crap to spill his venom over the internet and get an army. Mm-hmm. He had a small army.
Yeah.
Then you had Jim Jones out that had all these people following him, that they all followed him into committing suicide with the Kool-Aid.
Yep.
Now they get the internet as their vehicle. It's foreign governments. It's the left wing. It's the anti-Christ movement, basically. It's, in other words, Brian, they hear you say something and they say automatically, you're a racist, you're a bigot. If you say, well, I believe in traditional marriage, you're a racist. You're a bigot.
No,
I believe
it's called being. It's what I was talking about, Richie. Those things that you and I talk about and Charlie Kirk talk, we're normal. That's just normal.
We're normal. And they've got
they're freaks.
Antifa and their freaks have been put out there through the internet. And then when some of the educated ones go into these universities and they get these crazy college professors who are basically commies. I mean, it's an indoctrination of our country from within now. I mean, Charlie Kirk was assassinated from within. That guy that shot him is one of millions out there. And it's a sad thing because they've been indoctrinated into an army. They're organized. They go into stores. They rob stores. They go and they do They do all these crazy things.
That's true.
And the example, and I'm going to say, they even were in the military. You asked this guy yesterday, I called you up, he was referring to me that I brought the his service as an Air Force guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope he's listening to this. My friend, I was a Vietnam veteran. There were 58,000 plus Americans killed, the maimed, the effects of that war on the American people. As a veteran, we deserve a month if they're going to, not for a sexual, but in other words, they give them, like I said yesterday, they give the gay.
There's not. We have Veterans Day, not Veterans Month.
Exactly, and by me saying that, all of a sudden I'm a bigot.
Yeah.
Everything you say, you're a bigot to these people. Charlie Kirk said traditional marriage. Oh, you're a bigot. You don't believe in
because
a man marrying a man or woman.
Because they can't win the argument, so they throw out these. You're racist. You're homophobe. You're this. You're
racist,
a guy. You'll hear somebody called me up a couple days ago. Why are you afraid of immigrants? They have all these negatives and these isms. Because in liberal circles, if you call someone any of those things, they fall down on the ground, get in a fetal position, and beg for forgiveness, and they don't understand. And it's Charlie Kirk and all of us are just normal.
We're normal that believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, and because you believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, let me say this to you: to me, there is a definite correlation between the internet poison and the lack of religion, the religion that we're losing in this country.
Absolutely.
The church participation is down because of the venom that's being spilled in college campuses. A lot of them are atheists.
Yeah.
A lot of them have no belief system. They believe in this dark internet. And that's a big problem here. And Charlie Kirk was totally the opposite.
I would like to know if there needs to be Charlie, I played the clip. I'm going to play it after the next break. I'm going to take some more calls after you, but after the next break, I'm going to replay the one clip I opened the show with from Erika Kirk. She said the evildoers that assassinated my husband. So she's right there and she's informed. She's talked to the president, the vice president, members of the cabinet, the director of the FBI. So she agrees that the shooter is a patsy for a greater group of evildoers. And we really...
And the evildoers... they're an army from the internet, the left, everything.
He is this guy, even though he doesn't know it, this assassin. It was like Oswald. People don't remember. Lee Harvey Oswald's wife he brought her back from the Soviet Union. She was the daughter of a Russian army general. Okay, Lee Harvey Oswald's wife. There was a big conspiracy around that. There is here too. And what we really need is a true investigation into who recruited and radicalized him. Was it at the college? Was it somebody on this Discord? Did they have some seductress that had sex with this dork to get him to do? He was most definitely, he needs to be isolated, taken to Gitmo or something, and properly questioned to find out how who actually radicalized him. You understand what I mean, Richie?
Exactly.
This is just like we are living through. This is like the Kennedy assassination, this conspiracy, and we have an opportunity now.
But the internet is a recruitment arm. It's like I said, the vehicle of all this. They're out there recruiting young people. Brian, a lot of people have weak minds. You happen to be a person that your whole life you're very strong. You have your opinion. You're not influenced. I'm not influenced, but there are a lot of weak people out there that are falling right into
that want to be
trap.
somebody. They want to be somebody.
It's a trap. It's a trap. I mean, not for nothing.
I promise you. When I saw the assassin, you notice I don't say his name. I'm not going to say his name.
No.
You look at that dork. This guy was perfect, just like the Butler shooter. These guys are dorks. They can't get girls. They are perfect to recruit. And both of them were recruited by the same people to do what they did.
Yeah.
Both of them. And if you notice, the way he did this with Charlie Kirk was the same thing in Butler.
Well, you see the reaction on TikTok and all these. This is the army we're talking about. This guy's a member of that organization. That's an organization. People, it's not individuals. It's a bunch of people that are totally poisoned.
That's right. All right, Richie, I'm going to run, but it's good to talk to you. All right, take care. Take care. All right, you too. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Once, twice.
Who you talking to?
You. I'm talking to you. Oh, here we go.
Oh, hey, brother.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, brother.
Is this IB?
I'm sorry.
What's your name? Are you okay?
I'm good. My name's Wesley.
Wesley. All right, go ahead, Wesley.
Yeah. So, I have been listening to you forever.
Well, thank you.
You got a little bit of a disconnect.
Well, I can hear you fine. I mean, do you have the volume on in the background or whatever you're listening to me on? All right, I'm going to have to move on, Wesley, because your phone's not working too well. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Once, twice.
Hello?
Yep, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, hi. I didn't even see. I am Tamaya, and I am calling from Idaho.
All right, Idaho. What's on your mind?
So I've been in the middle for most of my life, and I look at like the facts and then the morals behind it. And I've watched everyone from, the right and the left, and it sucks because, killing someone because they have different beliefs, especially under the First Amendment, which is what is supposed to make America stand out, that someone was shot regardless, and the amount of inhumanity, it's definitely made me more right than left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
So, yeah, and honestly, you hear about how.
Let me ask you, how old are you? How old are you?
Oh, I just turned 18.
See,
I am.
You're 18. See,
I was. Yeah.
You are the people. What's happened with you is why these conspirators assassinated Charlie Kirk. When I was 18. There were no 18-year-old conservative girls who were supporting Republicans, okay? It just wasn't, or even involved in politics. If they were involved in politics, it was some pro-abortion thing or something. And what Charlie Kirk has done with your generation is turn your generation into conservatives. And that's why they killed him.
Yeah.
That's it. That's why they killed him.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it sucks because he was actually effective.
That's right.
But I think more than ever, it's most important to voice out our concerns now, more than ever, because the moment that people are silent is when people get to right or left.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a Turning Point event or anything?
No, I haven't. I really wanted to go, but it closed. So
you should go.
Thank you.
Should go. I've been to Charlie Kirk invited me a couple years ago, which I was shocked that he knew who I was, and he invited me to a Turning Point event near me in Florida. Yeah. And I didn't realize how big his movement was until I went. And you really should go. I was there. I'm like media. It's not for me.
Yeah.
It's for young people.
I haven't found anything around my area. When I searched it up, today, when I watched the video about his wife speaking out, I searched it up because I was like, you know what? I want to get more into politics, and this is the reason why.
That's awesome.
When people try to be, what's funny is the left is calling us fascists, but they're the one who's
killing people,
preventing us from talking,
and murdering people.
Yeah.
They're assassinating people.
Yeah,
but we're the fascists.
And then, right, there was the 3 attempted Donald Trump assassinations and a bunch of others, and
Yep.
it's just like, it's things like that that push people away from the left, and the part, like, left is supposed to have the most empathy because they're the ones being like, hey, let's not kill the murderers, or hey, let's not kill this. You know, they're the ones that have the most empathy, but they're not doing that. They are showing the exact opposite, and they're having double standards.
Yeah.
So, but I've looked in my area about the conservative meeting stuff, but I can't find anything on it. It said permanently closed.
Well,
I don't know.
go to the Turning Point. Go to the Turning Point USA website. I mean, you're in Idaho, so you're kind of remote, you know. But
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
there's not much around, depending on where you. But go to the Turning Point website and you know, and get involved. You know, they're always, you know, they're more active in high schools and colleges than you realize. There's got to be a college, even a community college near you.
Yeah.
So believe me, if they don't have a Turning Point chapter, they will.
Yeah, for sure. I expect, like, after this, there's going to be a lot more conservatives speaking out.
You know, let me ask you, other than at 18, why do you call yourself a conservative?
I lean towards conservatives.
Well,
I've
like how so?
Had,
what about conservatives makes you one? Is what I mean. Like, what are the issues and things that you believe in?
I believe in a strong border. I believe that, you know, like, you should earn your way into the USA. I believe that, you know, we have the right to guns, and that, you know, like, even if we got rid of all the guns, like, you know, that just prevents us from having guns, not the bad people from having guns.
That's right.
So
there's a saying: if you outlaw guns, only outlaws will have guns. Is the saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, that's great. Well, that's good. So go to the Turning Point website and do something, because you'd be a good chapter leader. All right. Hey, listen. Thanks for the call, and make sure you subscribe to my channel.
Sure.
All right.
Absolutely. You have a fantastic day.
All right. Take care. I mean, it's really amazing. See, I hate to put it in kind of this way, because I'm not saying because of her, but that call you just heard, that's why they killed Charlie Kirk. That's why they assassinated him. When I was growing up, you couldn't. If you imagine finding an 18-year-old girl that's first into politics and she's conservative, wouldn't happen. And now that's normal. I'm going to take our final break of the program. You're listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast. My name is Brian Craig. We'll be right back with your calls after this. On the line, we have Bruce. Bruce is a client of Jupiter Joe Thomas. He heard me talking with Joe Thomas about annuities and what a great deal they are, and he went in with his wife, and now he's a client. Hey, Bruce, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Brian.
So tell me about your experience with Jupiter Joe Thomas.
A fine gentleman. We sat down with Joe, and we explained everything to him, and we brought all our information, and he worked everything out great.
The cool thing about annuities is your money's never at risk. You're guaranteed a revenue stream for the rest of your life, but there's a bonus, really a signing bonus, where you can make a boatload of money before you even leave Joe Thomas's office. Can you talk a little bit about that, Bruce?
Well, that's where I was surprised when we sat down. We talked about the bonuses, and to my amazement, it was 10%, and there was even another one that's bigger.
Wow, that's amazing. So you made 10% on your money before you even got back in your car.
Yeah, it was more than that, but it was great.
Listen, guys, do what Bruce did. Give Jupiter Joe Thomas a call. You can set up a free consultation either on the phone or in the office, and Joe Thomas will put together a custom proposal just for you. His number is 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999, and online at jupiterjoe.com. All right, Bruce, thanks so much.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Radiant, healthy skin is just a click away. Introducing Supple Skin, your trusted online destination for professional-grade chemical peels delivered straight to your door, anywhere in the world. At Supple Skin, they believe skincare should be simple, effective, and accessible. Their expertly formulated chemical peels are designed to gently exfoliate, renew, and reveal your most luminous complexion yet. No clinics, no waiting rooms, no costly repeat treatments, just glowing skin on your terms. Shop now at suppleskin.co.za and experience the confidence of truly supple skin. Get the total skin revamp at suppleskin.co.za. What if just 1 hour could change the way you lead, work, and live? Seasoned executive and author Rafe Tallis gives you the blueprint for the transformation that you've dreamed of in his book, Power Hour, Leadership Empowerment. This must-read and life-changing book is a call to action. Through the proven Power Hour methodology, you'll discover how to break limitations, embrace accountability, and unlock your full potential. You'll also learn how to lead with purpose, communicate with impact, and inspire those around you. Whether you're guiding a team, chasing professional growth, or seeking personal change, Power Hour Leadership Empowerment equips you with the mindset and tools to make it happen, 1 hour at a time. Change doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you decide to lead with intention. Order your copy right now online at powerhourleadership.com or on Amazon and Kindle, paperback, Kindle Unlimited, and audiobook. Power Hour Leadership Empowerment from author Rafe Tallis. Are you a small business owner ready to stand out online? You need a new website, but not just any website will do. You need a website created by Covington Web Services. Covington Web Services do more than just build you a website. They craft powerful online platforms designed to grow your business. Unlike those cheap $200 WordPress or Wix sites that are slapped together with templates, the Covington Web Services team of experts made up of designers, developers, and a project manager, as well as infrastructure engineers, invest over 70 hours into each and every project. For just $1,200, you'll receive a 5-page website that's fully custom coded, mobile responsive, SEO optimized, secure, and built to scale. Covington Web Services doesn't stop there either. With their monthly SEO packages, you'll have a dedicated specialist working with you each and every month to boost your Google ranking and bring in more customers. If you're serious about your business, don't settle for cookie cutter. Build modern, build reliable, build with Covington Web Services. Visit CovingtonWebServices.com right now and take your business to the next level. CovingtonWebServices.com. Building modern, reliable websites.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to the Brian Craig Show podcast on all podcast platforms. I'll take some more calls. If you're watching live on YouTube, the toll-free number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. If you're new to the program, welcome. Make sure you follow and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on. And if you want to catch the show live, when I'm taking the calls live, just go to my YouTube channel, Brian Craig Show on YouTube, subscribe there, and you can catch me live. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Wesley, man. I tried to call you a minute ago.
Now I can hear you. Now it's all cool. Go ahead, Wesley.
I hear you too, man. I've been listening to you for freaking years, my friend. You've got one of the greatest podcasts, radio casts, whatever the hell you want to call it, one of the best absolutely ever. I think you are up there with Joe Rogan.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Anyhow, so I'm freaking fed up. I'm fed up with all this bullshit rhetoric, all the crap that's going on in our world. I'm fed up. Charlie Kirk did not deserve to die. Do you agree? Of course you do.
Of course. Of course.
Dude, my heart is heavy. It's heavy, man. I'm done. I'm going to start a podcast. I'm just going to do it with you, man. With you, because that has to be done.
All right. Well, start your podcast, and then maybe I'll be calling you one day. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? All right. Once, twice. You missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Ramon. I'm calling from Washington, D.C., and I was wanting to know what your take is that this shooter of Charlie Kirk, if he was just a scorned lover of his.
Come on. What kind of person are you?
Well, the thing is,
I mean, no. The thing is, let me hold on a second. I want to talk to you about something here. Forget about all your rhetoric. I know you probably want me to end the call, or you want to say more stupid stuff. You're talking about a man who's lying in a casket right now, who was murdered, assassinated, and the world saw it. What kind of person says something like you just said?
Well, the thing is, he actually tested positive.
No, we're not. You see, he's got to go right back to it. That's the left. That's the left. They are mental patients. All of them are mental patients. So I want to share this. I played this at the top. This is Erika Kirk, and I'm not playing the whole thing, just this one clip. I don't even have other clips of Erika Kirk, but I'm playing this one because I figure most of you have seen it. But this here, I thought was a very important one, where she drops some information. I'm going to play it in its entirety, uninterrupted, and then I'll come in and talk about it.
Already I have seen the worldwide outpouring of love for my husband. I've heard the testimonies from people my husband inspired to get married, to start families, to seek out a relationship with God. It's the most important one of all. The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it.
Okay. So, pretty powerful. And the reason I chose this clip is for two reasons. The second reason is, right now in the immediacy, is that this is the new head of Turning Point USA, right? Erika Kirk is going to take over, not these conservative influencers doing all the talk shows with their crocodile tears that I've seen on TV the last few days that have really been upsetting me. There's two conservative, one's worse than the other, that have been doing all the one's been on TV constantly. The other one's, it's been online stuff. But there's these two conservative influencer guys that are very famous, household names, that think they're going to replace Charlie Kirk at Turning Point. I could tell. And I've been really getting more and more angry at these two guys. One in particular, the one that's on TV every 6 seconds. And again, I've been saying the last, it's not like me to hold a name. I haven't said the names because I like you, I'm an emotional wreck this week. And I don't want to say something in anger about this, but there's, I'm not going to confirm or deny. People have been asking me who I'm talking about. I'm not going to confirm or deny any names or anything. When I cool off, and maybe I will. But Erika Kirk's taking over. But the main reason I chose this clip today isn't that obviously she's taking over and she's going to be the face of Charlie Kirk's great work. But what she said there, the evildoers who assassinated Charlie Kirk, that means that, and you know what I thought she was going to do? And I don't know if you thought this. I thought she was going to forgive the assassin. I was expecting her, before she spoke, I was expecting her to, I just received a threat. There you go. Yeah. I was expecting her to do that, forgive the assassin, because that's what Charlie would have wanted as a Christian. She didn't do that, which I'm glad she didn't get into that. But she said the evildoers who assassinated Charlie Kirk. That means she knows, doesn't believes, she knows that there was a conspiracy to assassinate him for all the reasons we've all been talking about the last few days. That the assassin himself that actually fired the shot was a patsy, like Lee Harvey Oswald or James Earl Ray, and John Wilkes Booth, and this is an informed opinion of hers because she's spoken to the president and the vice president, the director of the FBI, and other members of the national security team and cabinet of the president. So when Erika Kirk is talking here about the evildoers, plural, a conspiracy, that's not a belief, that is a fact. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to support my content, my podcast, my YouTube channel, everything I do, become a Patreon supporter. There's a link in the description of the episode to my Patreon page. If you become a Patreon supporter, you get access to commercial-free editions of my podcast episodes, as well as a lot of exclusive content that my wife and I both post there that we post nowhere else. Link is in the description on whatever platform you're listening on. And if you become a top Patreon supporter, you get your name up on the screen here on YouTube, and you get a live on-air thank you shout-out on every episode. These are the names you will hear now are my top Patreon supporters. I want to thank SFjr, Christine, ETW, Chuck, Pamela, Nick, Wesley, Doris, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Alice, LeeZep, Shawna, George, Brandon, John, Frank, Dale, Tina, David, Laura, Rob, Wes, Sue, and Janice. These are my top Patreon supporters. Thank you all. And again, if you want to become a Patreon supporter and support my content, there's a link in the description of this episode on whatever platform you're watching or listening on. And the direct website address is patreon.com/Real Brian Craig Show. Patreon.com/Real Brian Craig Show. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air once.
How's it going, sir?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's on your mind?
So I'm not going to say my name just because of my occupation.
Whatever. Okay.
I am from New Jersey, though.
Okay.
I just want to call and, it's been a terrible couple last days. I guess if we're going to take anything from what happened, me, myself, I'm not really a religious person. But in light of everything that happened, I've decided to go get a Bible and give it a shot.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome. Go ahead and do that. God bless you. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm on the air?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, no, my name's Casey, and I just want to call in and say, man, I'm having a hard time after Charlie Kirk's death. It's terrible what's going on. I hate the fact that people celebrate his death and stuff like that. That's just, upsetting to me,
That's pretty twisted.
Yeah, it's twisted. He's got the way I like to think about it is, opinions change, right? And the simple fact is he was a father, right down to it, his opinions on abortion could have changed and things like that, because
I doubt that.
He's not a woman. And
okay. Oh my goodness. What a Michael Savage was so right when he coined that phrase, liberalism is a mental disorder, right? Well, listen, if you're new to my program, welcome. And make sure that you follow and subscribe on whatever platform you are listening on. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you next time.